Welcome. This is episode 5 of the Final Fantasy XIII Let's Play, and we just crash landed.
Woo! I think that's a good thing. Kind of.
I mean, we're no longer flying around a sun thing?
We're not being shot at?
For now.
Hey.
Oh no, do you think Lightning can handle the dog robots that we have been just decimating?
I don't know. She's kind of struggled with them up until now, huh?
Hey! Wake up! You gotta wake up! Look!
It's not because of the dog battles, she's really concerned they have a concussion.
Hey, slow down!
Do you think they use this battle theme as their alarm clock?
It's safe, right?
Didn't you do that for a while?
I don't think it was this one, but yes. Oh, yeah, they're kind of tough.
Yeah, we're really concerned. Oof, that was...
I think Saz and Vanille could have slept in a little bit.
The kids always need extra sleep. That's why I hope didn't join us.
Yeah.
Man, I'm beat. What? No break?
They're tracking us.
I know that, but we aren't soldiers. We don't have your kind of
Is
stamina.
it really tracking when you just look
You
for
got
the
enough to
smoldering crater?
complain.
I mean, I guess technically,
Oh, that's... Forget it!
it's just not technologically inclined.
I think,
I'd stick with her if I were you.
later then.
Come on, let's get going.
It's a short break.
Get going
Yeah.
to where, exactly? The whole of Cocoon's against us. No matter how far we run, there's no escape. That Seath clock, it's still a ticket.
There's still time. You give up too easy, old man.
I'm not giving up. There's some things that you just can't change. A kid like you would not understand.
Yeah, I'm a kid. I don't understand.
Well, I guess we can be fugitives together. Oh. You ready?
Ready!
Whoa. Hey.
He just needs a little push.
Just a little one.
I didn't realize that it actually tells you when there's new merchandise available in the shop. So welcome. We unlocked a couple of things. I'm also now speeding up Crystarium usage. Yeah, this is... We're going to be in here a lot. They keep changing my party on me. So yeah, we got some additional buffs. We got Bravery and Faith on Saz, who is now able to do a Synergist. And also a couple more. The one important one is Overwhelm for Ravager. That allows us to gain additional stagger when there's additional Ravagers attacking the enemy that we're attacking. So basically, just do full try disaster all the time and you're golden. Except when you can't because we only have 2 party members. Thanks, game.
I do think it's interesting that you only have 2 party members for such a significant period of time that they went through the effort of creating names for all the 2-person
True,
pairs
yeah.
of paradigms as well.
No!
End of the road.
But at least it's not the end of the line.
You need a carriage return then.
Unix or
We don't talk about line feeds.
There's those Blitzball tournament fireworks again.
I do like the interstitials that they do, seeing how people were interacting before they all met up, basically.
Yeah, me too. And like, it's interesting revealing that Vanille was here.
It kind of makes sense that she was in Bodum because everyone got purged from here. How else would she have gotten on the train? But
Yeah, it's just kind of confirming that. I can see how this would be hard to follow, though.
yeah. So starry-eyed.
You look dreamy, Farron. Wishing on fireworks, were you? And you call yourself a soldier? Ah,
Sorry, Lieutenant. But I really don't think guard duty is my calling, sir.
well, lucky for you, your shift just ended. Pack it up and go home.
But, sir,
SciComm found something in the vestige nearby. They don't want the Guardian Corps here stepping on their toes. Huh. I'm sure you heard about the accident at the Uriday Gorge energy plant, and how it has the SciComm lads in a tizzy.
Trigger discipline.
yeah. More incident than accident. Something pulse-related.
You're taking tomorrow off?
Sir, for my birthday, sir. My sister, she insisted on it.
21, huh?
Drinking.
Maybe it's
why
a
she
good
took
time
off.
to send off that letter of recommendation for officer training.
Lieutenant,
You're past due for a promotion, Farron. Think of your sister and your future, and keep your nose out of trouble.
That didn't really work very
out
well.
of SciComm business, you mean?
Yeah, nothing good'll come of it. Nothing but grief. Whoa, look at that one!
I like how they're so skeptical of SciComm.
Oh, ho!
I mean, you've heard discussion of like Navy
right,
people
you
versus
were,
Army
Lieutenant.
people.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that world building.
Just you?
For now, I guess. Should we wait?
They'll catch up, eventually.
Yeah, so even though Hope was already able to do synergist abilities previously, they gave that and Saboteur to a whole bunch of people, so they're just covering buffs are useful. In a lot of previous Final Fantasies, you can kind of just ignore buffs and debuffs for the majority of the game. There's a mechanic in combination with Stagger in 13 that basically encourages using debuffs in particular a lot more. And filling out some Crystarium.
I wouldn't have expected this.
Yep, so focusing on Medic, I think we end up capping out these guys relatively quick again.
I don't actually remember. Do the other party members gain the Crystarium points when, like,
Yes
you're
and-
controlling? Yeah.
Yes and no. They gain Crystarium points when they are an inactive party member, but when they are out of the party, I don't believe so.
Okay.
So there's two separate states. So like when we were doing that 3-person fight with Saz, Lightning, and Vanille, Hope still got CP during that fight.
Gotcha.
But as soon as it removed them, basically the amount of Crystarium I used previously, I don't think goes up for Saz and Vanille now that we're controlling just Hope and Lightning. It ends up not affecting... Once you get into the part of the game where you're able to pretty much grind, you basically have the party members available and can swap them out, but through the railroaded story segments, you definitely are maybe a little tight on CP, but also I realized that there's a pretty easy way of forcing respawns for the enemies if you really wanted to cap out. And we just covered, we had some new items, nothing that we could actually afford or that would be particularly useful. The up in arms that we received from, I believe, the boss from the previous episode is your weapon vendor. But it's hard to tell. There may or may not be some items that you can or weapons that you can only buy. So is it worth buying a weapon if you're possibly going to receive it?
Just stay out of my way.
On? I'm not sure if I'll ever end up using Lever Scope. It's useful if you're fighting a new enemy and you happen to burn all your tactical points. But if it does come up, it's going to be a while.
You just don't use them for anything else, and they get replenished pretty quick. So you get to face, like, the upgraded attack dog.
Yeah. It definitely has more HP. It feels a little bit more like a challenge of a fight compared to the things that we just basically two-shot at this point. The buffs that it can apply when you start getting more and more of them in combat can take longer. I wouldn't say they're necessarily a threat, though.
No, but I think, well, you can actually have some benefit to staggering them.
Yeah.
Unlike the other ones, which will just die.
To repair Cocoon.
So, like, really? Hope can jump that?
Well, it takes them a little longer. Yeah, we're overlooking a sunset sunrise. It's weird because I thought we flew past the sun, but maybe that's the actual sun from outside the rift.
Well, they also took a bit of a nap after the crash.
Yeah.
Stay sharp.
These guys still hurt. There's Hope dead again.
Not exactly an uncommon thing. I was gonna say, you kind of need him alive to heal yourself at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, medic is definitely a lot more effective than trying to pop potions. I think we get updated potions eventually, but definitely much more effective to use the medic stance.
Also, it allows you to continue doing damage at least.
Yeah. Well, items don't use any ATB, so you can actually use the item time to generate ATB in comparison to Final Fantasy VII Remake, where it required ATB to use items.
Which definitely made some fights a lot harder.
Stay sharp.
Especially right now, we don't have any multi-target healing skills, so if we need everybody up a little bit, then potions are the right play right now.
Just stay out of my way.
But yeah, we're using Protect here. Unfortunately, Protect doesn't...
Stay sharp.
I think the Electro Kick is probably a physical attack, but because it's elemental, I'm not sure we're getting the full benefit of Protect. We're definitely getting reduced damage from it, though. Possibly Lightning just has a high lightning resist.
The name would suggest it.
So proud of himself.
I mean, to be fair, if you killed these overpowered robots with a boomerang, I think, like, you'd probably take pride in that too.
And so we got a preemptive strike on these guys, which makes it go so much faster. They're a bit tanky when they are not staggered.
They really wanted to not necessarily punish you here for not using the stagger system, but really encourage you to figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys make it very obvious. It's like, hey, you staggered me. Allow me to show you my weak spot.
Dead end. Guess we have to go back. I don't see any way over.
Obviously, Hope doesn't see the map.
Can we get through this way, you think?
Yeah, so that giant glowing white
know
thing
where you're going,
is
right?
I've been
is
here on
Phoenix.
missions before.
Well, technically Eden, but also
Missions.
Phoenix.
Nothing to do with the purge, though.
And right now it's in moon
Purge is
mode.
SciComm's baby.
That's the sun thing that we flew past.
Our military is split into two arms. The Public Security and Intelligence Command, known as SciComm, and the Guardian Corps. I was Guardian Corps, Bodum Security
Very
Regiment.
proud of it.
Wait, but I don't get it. If you're not SciComm, then why did you board the train?
For Sarah.
Join the end of the line. Attention, Purge deportees. Follow instructions and stay in your lines. Personal belongings will be returned upon arrival.
Reasonable escalation.
Do not leave your lines. This is for your own safety. Huh? What's the GC doing here? This op's under SciComm direction.
So direct me. Let me on.
Well, who's that?
I want to be purged.
The little kid.
You mean the one without a unique model?
Sanctum staff and soldiers are exempt. Huh?
Then I quit.
Line up.
Is he really allowed to accept her resignation? That doesn't seem like the military is structured that way.
The best friendship is
Excuse me.
formed.
Hey, lady. What gives?
I volunteered.
It's between lightning and the baby chocobo.
True.
Look ready to go quiet into that good night.
You want quiet? You better take the next train.
Well, now I really want to see what you're up to.
At least now we have context for why Saz kept following her.
I had
Yeah.
to rescue Sarah before they transported the vestige to Pulse, and out of my reach. My only chance to save her was to join the Purge.
You're telling me you got on that train so you could save your sister? That's crazy. I could never do something like that.
It's not a question of can or can't. There are some things in life you just do.
Easy for someone like you to say. Lightning!
Oh, he's so alone.
She left me.
One, two, three. Ah, we go.
What are you up to? Hey! Wait up!
It's a very good content filter.
It's about as anime as it gets.
Can't keep up with this girl.
And so this is, again, covering Synergist. Just basically telling you that he might have different abilities than what you previously had available with Hope. Even though I had already purchased these in the Crystarium because they had told me that I had it before. Tutorial timing is just a little weird. It really wants to make sure that you know that you have these. And it's much more important with this combination of characters.
Yeah, we have two not particularly strong, at least certainly from a defensive point of view.
This is also covering that sometimes we'll be in battles with more than one type of adversary or group of adversaries. The reason there are SciComm robot things here is that they are in a constant battle with leftover pulse entities that were pulled up. Yeah, we gained a little bit of CP. I'm not really sure if we gained that CP from the couple of fights we had in Lightning and Hope, or if I just didn't spend enough previously, because I did the CP early, but we didn't fight with these. So maybe we do get off-party CP generation. It just doesn't feel as significant.
I guess it's also possible they're just giving you a chunk when you switch as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Now the robots are fighting each other?
And one of the other things it covered in that tutorial was that it's much easier to get preemptive strikes instead of battles too. But then you're kind of asked to attack which one you think is the more difficult group. But with the way that stagger drops on preemptive strikes, you might not be able to fully stagger everything. Especially because we don't have any multi-target. They were able to do some significant base damage to this guy, and the enemies will also help build stagger bar.
Go, girl! Here!
And so what we just showed off there is if we do multiple Ravager, the stagger bar drops so fast that we can't do anything, but that fast dropping stagger is because we were using Ravager. I had Vanille as Saboteur. She applied a debuff which does very minor damage, but counts as a secondary source of stagger with a much lower drop rate. So she's able to help mitigate that drain, making it easier and necessary in some cases to actually stagger these enemies. And the added benefit of they take increased damage from whichever debuff I applied. And then I'm just doing some manipulation there because I really like having the multi Ravager as my first option
seen a
now.
rig like this before. Here we go.
I see Paul still uses vacuum tubes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I knew that would happen.
Well, this was a couple hundred years ago that this stuff was pulled here. But yeah, I believe Datalog covered it a little bit, and they'll talk about it a little bit more coming up. But this scrap area is all the leftovers that Cocoon Falces had recovered from Pulse after the previous war, but were not able to use to help revitalize and repair from the previous battle.
So it's more or less a junkyard from the war.
tried staggering the pulse soldier to allow for the SciComm dogs to do a little bit extra damage, but I don't think that was really the right play here. It takes so long to re-stagger the pulse soldier that should have just killed it outright. I'm for some reason avoiding staggering the dog. If I staggered it, it died instantly, but the time I had to take the switch, I don't know what I was doing for some of these battles.
You can see how like impossible it is to stagger it though without something to lower the speed that it gains.
Yeah, you can try and time some additional abilities, but our ATB feels so slow based that even if you shortcut some of them, it's not going to be enough.
Like that.
Yep.
Because you do have to account for the travel time of the spells as well. They're not particularly fast. That's just showing how much defense these guys have if they're not staggered. It's doing about 10% of the stagger damage that we were hitting for. I don't think either of these characters have the element that these things are actually weak to either. Primarily lightning, it may have been something else too. Yeah, that was a long battle. No stars.
It did give me a Fort Assault Shroud, so I wonder if do bad enough so it wasn't giving us the items to help. That's
true. I wonder if it like essentially like pity rewards you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're doing poorly on these battles, here's a buff. I don't even know, I just never paid much attention.
Yeah, until that cutscene showed up and I got the first drop, I don't think I remembered the shrouds.
Yeah.
I know we both worked towards getting some of the items later that apply some of the shroud buffs automatically to certain battles.
Particularly haste, which you have here, and it's really awesome. The ATB charges so much faster.
Oh yeah, it's great. And this is effectively the same battle, we just had that problem with actually more enemies. Even just the haste being applied, I kind of just do Ravager and almost get staggered out of it. Almost.
Almost. You're still standing too far away, I think.
Yeah!
Not that you have any direct control.
Yep. There's an item.
Yeah, normally people have to work much harder for those.
Yep. Yeah, so we got a black belt which reduces physical damage taken, but I then decide that, oh, he actually should have more HP.
This should do it. Huh? Piece of cake.
Clearly intended.
So what was that corded originally, and why does it still have power?
Well, I'm wondering why the control panel would be that close to a fan clearly powerful enough to kill somebody. I
So
guess
we're basically just working down, nuking the one down, but I missed activating the second stagger.
rip.
I don't think you can early end an attack sequence. Since we start our preemptive with full ATB, they have to do the entire attack sequence against the enemy that you accept.
Way to go, Sam!
Definitely
Did you see
becomes
that
easier
coming?
to utilize preemptive strikes when you get area attack. skills, especially larger area attack skills than just blitz.
With this set of characters, it is nice that most of these encounters are the, like, kind of 3 parties.
Yeah. I'm sure that was done intentionally in case you don't.
This could easily become a very frustrating situation.
We got this, Vanille.
So I spent a little bit of time also buffing the Brody here for a little bit longer with these extra dogs.
Almost staggered.
Yeah, the biggest problem with using the Saboteur to get the stagger build up is that if you already have the debuffs applied, it just refreshes them, which isn't nearly as effective, and the amount of damage that the debuffs deal is very insignificant. So you don't want to leave your Saboteurs up particularly long. You lose the stagger.
Yep.
They definitely anticipated these fights taking longer. All their par times are pretty significant.
The code treats everything from Pulse as evil, doesn't it?
So I guess this will be a good reference point. We have 0 CP on both, and next time.
Hey! Home!
Ah, he's still just sitting there.
We made it!
Where's Grumpy? Got left behind, huh?
Leave me alone.
Hey!
I didn't want to help myself, so I don't want to accept you helping me.
This is pointless. Can't keep up. Can't get home. It's over for me.
It's not over. We'll get you home.
I don't have one. Now that Mom is...
What about your dad?
Touchy subject, probably.
Not making a wish, Hope?
Mom, you still believe in that kind of
I'm an adult kid.
Wishing on fireworks? Really? That's for little kids.
What are you calling kid?
You? What'd you wish for?
Oh, that next year, your father could come with us.
Why? It's better like this. We don't need him. That night, they found the Fal'Cie in the Bodum vestige. The next day, soldiers sealed off the town, and we couldn't get back to Palom Polum. They forced us onto the train with everyone else. My mom, she was frantic. She wanted to get us home, so she tried to fight. She got tricked by Snow. He used her!
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
We all saw it.
Home, okay? Your dad's gotta be worried.
Let him worry. Why should I care? He doesn't.
Any father cares.
Saz?
It's nothing.
Oh, is Saz a father?
You know, it's subtle. They might have been hinting at that.
This ought to do it.
You also really cared about the Dodge brand of car earlier.
Yeah.
That's a family sedan, right?
You've got time. We'll get you back home. Your dad'll be happy to see you.
It almost slipped out there. Almost said your Dash will be happy to see you. I like how he walked over to that machine where he's like, oh shit, I said something. I need a distraction.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to bury yourself in your work.
Yeah. Man, Hope was sitting there for so long, and all he had to do was pull that lever.
Yup.
Can't we just talk this over?
They're back to 3 players. It's like, oh, do you want to be able to actually kill things?
Yeah. Of course, now that the paradigms are all messed up.
You know it.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah. Whoa, that's the item we could have bought for him.
Good thing you didn't.
It also doesn't really feel like an upgrade. The other one's balance, this one has reduction. There is a critical skill, which means that under low HP, it gives me a buff, but it's like a defensive buff. That doesn't help me kill things faster.
I mean, not to spoil too much, but some of the weapons are kind of just inherently worse in their base states.
What?
And have to be kind of upgraded to be kind of worth anything.
I tried sneaking. There was no sneaking.
Hold it together.
I like the little showdown there while everyone's ATB bar is filling and then everyone just attacked at once.
Some of the combat animations are actually very nice. Especially when you go from the first chapter where you have no access to magic and then everything starts exploding.
Yeah.
And so that was with buffs and debuffs against the enemy. But it's hard to justify starting with the Sabotender, or not Sabotender.
Sabotender.
That's much later. Saboteur and Synergist. The amount of time on certain fights that it takes to get that stuff out, especially if you get a preemptive and you don't have a damage dealer, you're not going to be able to utilize it.
And these are objectively the best enemies in this area, just because I don't know what they're supposed to be.
They're based on, I'm not sure if this is the first time they showed up, but they are definitely in Final Fantasy X, where they do a lot of dancing. So like, they're like rain dance type enemies.
Saz with his golden pistols.
Isn't that
A warship from Pulse.
You mean they made it this far?
Of course not. Not during the war, not since. They might have tried, but none of their forces made it into Cocoon. They only damaged the outer rim. Then the Sanctum's Fal'Cie pushed them back. What'd you, sleep through history?
More or less. So, what's a ship from Pulse doing here?
Once the war was over, people couldn't live near the rim anymore, in places like the Hanging Edge. So the Fal'Cie, they gathered up scrap from Pulse and used it for rebuilding here. This is what was left. A bunch of garbage.
Who'd have thunk? A Post-file C and who knows what mixed in with all the trash.
Who'da thunk?
I do get some Thunder Plains vibe from this area with the all the pyres they have to sit around.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go peek ahead.
I also like the definitely not intended pun from Vanille during that
Stop
cutscene.
wandering off
Yeah.
and stay where I can keep my eye on.
At least we know Hope pay attention during history.
He was definitely on his game there.
I owe ya.
Also, like Sauce going, of course they didn't make it this far.
Oh,
We're clearly superior to them.
Because it was really the humans that did so much, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, these Incubus enemies are very strong physical attack sets. So getting Protect up is actually useful.
Even
you're
the
able-
like visual effect from Protect when you get hit, their like shell thing that shows up. There's a lot of detail in the spell effects.
Hey, look, my paradigms were out of order. It always gets me a little bit of sunk cost because is it worth changing? Are they going to change my party up again? They've already changed it, what, 3 times?
Mm-hmm. And it certainly is not the last time.
Let's get this over with. Change in the play. Changing gears. Hold it together.
Stagger, the true health bar.
Yeah.
Yes!
Want me to check things out?
Now you can jump fine.
Yeah. He's just gonna sprint ahead now. He ran right past him.
Eyes on the side of their head, apparently.
Yeah, I feel like that should have been a preemptive strike.
Change in the play.
The healing can be a little spotty. If it is your AI controlled partners as medic, they will always heal the people that are closer to critical, even though it's game over if your main character dies. So you can get into situations where the heals just can go the way that you
See
need
you,
them
daddy,
to.
now.
And I don't have a choice in the matter right now since Saz can't be a medic.
except for using one on Hope earlier.
Didn't get the item first.
It was all over the place, eh?
Come to Papa.
God, that one's different.
I intentionally don't kill it, I think.
It looks like it's debuffing you.
Just a little bit.
Bobbing and weaving.
We'll find out later.
Yeah.
Time to pull the old switcheroo. Bobbing and weaving.
Yeah, this is where they do start throwing a lot more enemies at you with some more frequency. And a lot of these can't be directly avoided. I'm sure if I shrouded.
And now that you have 3 people, they stopped doing the whole, like, 3-party encounter thing.
Yeah. So I guess that means that the dancing bird robot things are from Pulse, right?
Yeah, they don't... Like, that's kind of what I would assume based on that. And, like, they're appearing together. Like, when you ran into this enemy, they weren't there, but they're part of the what you're fighting against. But visually, they don't exactly look like the rest of the Pulse stuff.
Hope snow's all right.
I will say we're getting about upwards of 50 Crystarium per one of these encounters, and each node is only like maybe 130 at this point. I think a lot of 90-point nodes still available. So the encounters are rewarding in that sense, but I feel like the drops that we're getting just don't seem to play into anything yet.
Changing gears.
Oh, is that Grumpy?
Hey, welcome to the party.
You miss us?
Yes.
I think so.
Would it kill her to smile?
Time to move.
And they broke my paradigms again.
They want you to be familiar with controlling everybody.
Yeah, so I definitely think that we do get CP for people that aren't in our active party, because she had 800 coming into this. Double checking some weapons here. Nothing's really changed in that regard.
Well, having a commando again
Let's get this over with.
should make staggering less chancy.
Changing gears.
And it should go through stagger faster now too, since commandos seem to seemingly do more damage to staggered enemies. And she has lightning.
Yeah, that also helps.
Hold it together. Changing gears.
I like how you got lightning back, and then you're like, yeah, the person you probably don't want is Hope, so we're just gonna kick him out of the party.
I'll do what I can.
That's somehow counted as a friend strike. They jumped down at me.
I was gonna say, I don't think that that looked very planned.
That also was not planned. Please don't die, Sass.
Bobbing and weaving.
They're trying.
Yeah. And I don't think there's any way for me to
Follow the
remove
old guy's
debuffs
lead.
at this point.
I appreciate it.
Probably not. The most you could do is just essentially
through it.
the opposite buff.
Yeah. Oh, true, yeah. Yeah, now I'm trying to remember if there was even like an Asuna.
I actually don't know for sure.
Here we go. Nothing to
Very practical.
Just happened to be here.
Doing good.
Saw's just staring at that like he's never seen one before.
He's debating his life decisions if he needs that new gun or not.
Oh, yeah. Do I get rid of the gold?
It's nice that the dance only affects one person. If it applied the debuff to everybody, that'd be even more difficult to deal with at this point.
Yeah, that could get pretty dangerous too, with how much physical damage those things do.
Driven by the audio cue most of the time.
Yeah.
But it was just another Libra scope.
Come on, let's go.
Well, you'll probably have more than you need at least.
Come to Papa.
Those like item containers do have a pretty distinctive sound though.
Yeah. Yeah, it is convenient. It's definitely saved me from looking for them a couple of times. There's very little in the way of like secret areas, but there are a couple of like slightly off-beaten paths that they could just loop around. Like this.
Just need to get through here.
There's an item right there.
That's basically like a Mario Kart track shortcut.
Yeah.
Time to pull the old switcheroo.
Such a bully.
No.
The debuffs do help further. Since the amount of stagger you generate is mildly influenced by the amount of damage you do, it does also help build stagger faster.
I appreciate it. Follow the old guy's lead.
At this point, yeah, the flow of these battles is pretty well established.
Yeah. I feel like it's training us for something.
Mm-hmm.
Double check what that is. It's 20% reduced fire damage. Not bad. Just that's less damage.
Hurry up.
And
Seems
conspicuous
kind of
loading tunnel.
Kind of niche having a fire resist ring.
Yeah, here we are almost capped. We're definitely capping some of the trees, but not necessarily all of them.
What do you suppose that is?
It might be an arena. Let's see if we can buff ourselves before doing this fight.
Well, on the map you can see there certainly wasn't an area ahead.
Yeah.
What is that?
Pulse armament.
And that's bad for us, isn't it?
You have eyes, don't you?
Do headlights count as eyes?
That might have been the design language they were going for.
Hold it together.
Yeah, haste, faith, and bravery going into a boss fight. Also just throwing vigilance up, which reduces interruptions. Kind of makes this this first set go by way too fast. We got the debuffs up. It's pretty much as much damage as I can possibly do right now. So it's talking about capable of removing status ailments. It won't have a chance.
You ever
stagger.
think during these boss fights, man, I can't wait till this is just a normal enemy later.
There's been plenty of that, hasn't there?
Yeah. So I've been very far into the game.
Changing gear.
That wasn't very kind of it.
Thought we were goners. You all right?
I think so.
It's not even its final form.
I'm certainly no professional weapons designer, but I kind of question the reason for those chains just hanging from it.
If it's a destruction thing, it's that or it helps with the snow. Get your pick. Unfortunately, this counts as a second battle, so all of our buffs got wiped, including what we gained from the Shroud. So it's steam clean to me.
Change in the play.
It never happened.
At least you're not controlling her.
Yeah, this is the difference that haste makes. So we had no problem interrupting Steam Clean last time. Luckily, I only removed one debuff, so Deep Protection is still great with Lightning on the team.
Changing gears. Hold it together.
Yeah, Lightning hitting for nearly 2,200 damage.
Yeah. It's certainly nice having her back. Or any commando, really, I think is the advantage.
Whoa, we got a garage? And commando on Saz. Medic on Lightning?
Why not?
Pulse is crawling with things like that, isn't it?
Got me. Not even the Corps has access to intel on Pulse. Soldiers in the field fight blind.
Doesn't seem effective.
Yeah, I noticed that.
They're not really going to Pulse,
But don't
though,
you
right?
need to know exactly what you're up against?
Not in this
Target
age.
to target.
You like to keep it simple, don't you?
I stick to my goal.
As long as you have a goal, you can fight?
You can stay alive.
We'll be checking out what we just received from that battle. I don't know what I'm doing to the garage out here. Am I building a car?
Like the one from 15?
Yeah. No, we have a motorcycle. That's right.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.